What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be looking at the stock attachment in Infinite Warfare. I'm going to be looking at all of the different movement speeds with and without stock for each different gun, and then I'm going to be comparing it to Black Ops 3 because a lot of people were quite disappointed last year in the effectiveness of the stock attachment. Also, towards the end of the video, I'm going to be testing whether or not Man-at-Arms has a significant effect on your aim down sight movement speed. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so since we still don't have the hard stats on a lot of the attachments out yet, everything here is hand tested, and therefore there is a little bit of margin for error. I would say I'm comfortably accurate to about 2 to 3% when we're looking at movement speed percentages. So the first thing to understand with movement speed is everything is based off of the movement speed of the SMG when it's not aimed down sight. This is 100% movement speed. Everything else is based off of that. So let's hop into the numbers here, and I'll put my testing in the background so you can actually see what it looks like with and without stock with each of these weapon classes. For SMGs, we get about a 77% aim down sight movement speed without stock. Once you pop that stock on there, this bumps it up to about 95 to 96% movement speed while aiming down sight. So it's not quite as powerful as in Black Ops 3, which actually brought it up to 104% movement speed if you were aiming down sight with stock, but it's still pretty good. It brings you up to almost that 100% movement speed. Moving on to the assault rifles, we have a 40% movement speed when we're aiming down sight without stock, which is identical to Black Ops 3. And then once we pop stock on there, it bumps it up to about 70% movement speed. This value is almost identical to Black Ops 3, and it's actually very possible that due to all the rounding and the hand testing, it is actually identical to Black Ops 3, because in Black Ops 3 we had a 68% movement speed when you're aiming down sight with assault rifles and stock. In this game, based on my testing, it's at 70%. Moving on to the LMGs, we actually got pretty much identical results to the assault rifles. We get a 40% aim down sight movement speed while we don't have stock, and then once we pop stock on there, that brings it up to 68% movement speed. Once again, this is identical to Black Ops 3. Moving on to sniper rifles, once again we have identical values to Black Ops 3. It's a 40% movement speed when you don't have stock on, and then once you pop the stock on there, it brings it up to 60% aim down sight movement speed. Moving on to the shotguns, I calculated a 78% movement speed, which in comparison to Black Ops 3, we had an 80% movement speed. So once again, with the rounding done with my hand testing, it's very possible that it is literally identical to Black Ops 3 at 80%. And then when we add stock on that, we get 104% movement speed, just like in Black Ops 3. This means that when you put a stock on a shotgun, you actually move faster while aiming down sight than you would be if you weren't aiming down sight, assuming you're not sprinting, that is. So finally, we have the pistols, and with those you get an 88% movement speed while aiming down sight without stock, and this is about 4% faster than Black Ops 3, and then with stock we bump that up to a 92% movement speed while aiming down sight. And we can't compare this to Black Ops 3 because in Black Ops 3 you couldn't put stock on a pistol. So overall, compared to Black Ops 3, stock seems to have around the same effect, or in some cases it's actually been nerfed a little bit like with the SMGs. One big difference though compared to Black Ops 3 is so far, based on my testing, at least with the guns I tested with, it appears that firing while strafing doesn't slow you down like it did in Black Ops 3. In Black Ops 3 you could strafe decently quickly, for instance with LMGs, but as soon as you started firing your shots, it would slow you down so much that you were barely even moving. This doesn't seem to happen at all in Infinite Warfare. So in that case, stock is actually considerably better because you can strafe and shoot at the same time. Also, one final thing that people wanted me to test is Man-at-Arms with stock. Does it make you strafe even faster if you have stock and Man-at-Arms equipped on an LMG or an assault rifle, for instance? I did the testing. With the assault rifle, it only made about a 2% difference, and like I said, my margin of error is around 2%, so I don't even know if it actually helps at all. But with LMGs, I got a 10% difference. Instead of a 68% movement speed while aiming down sight and strafing with stock, once you add Man-at-Arms on there, you get a 78% movement speed. So this is considerably better, and I would highly recommend, if you're going to use stock on LMGs, also use that Man-at-Arms trait. So overall, is stock worth it in this game? I would say for SMGs, not really so much. Assault rifles, it's definitely arguable, you could use it. It's very comparable to Black Ops 3 though, like I said, so if you like stock in Black Ops 3, you'll probably like it in this game. If you didn't like stock in Black Ops 3, you probably won't like it in this game for assault rifles. For LMGs, I would say it is actually worth it because we don't have to deal with that massive slowdown that you get while firing and trying to strafe. And if you stack stock with Man-at-Arms, you actually get a faster strafe speed than you would with an assault rifle with stock. As for the shotguns, the pistols, and the sniper rifles, stock really doesn't give you too much of a benefit, I find, so I probably wouldn't bother with the attachment on those weapon classes. So, I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like how stock is balanced in this game compared to Black Ops 3? Or do you prefer the super powerful stock that we used to see back in the Black Ops 2 days? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.